So, it finally happened. A Nintendo Direct is finally going to happen tomorrow. And I'm really excited. I've been waiting a while for another one to happen because, once again, like 2020, Nintendo skipped out on the middle of the year. Well, they didn't have E3 this year, so I feel like Nintendo just decides not to do a Direct in June when there isn't E3. So, yeah, so we're getting a Direct tomorrow, and I'm pretty excited about it. There was a lot of rumors and speculation about a Direct happening this week, and usually Nintendo does it after all the speculation and rumors and different things, so it's kind of interesting to see that the rumors were right this time. I mean, that doesn't always mean they're right, but just in this particular case, they were. So in this video, I'm going to go through different things that we could possibly see in this Direct, from updates on games, status updates on games that were already announced, and new game announcements or different announcements, different things like that. So for game updates, I think we could see things like Mario Strikers. Like, it's around that time where Mario Strikers will probably get another update. Like, I'm thinking hopefully Pauline is added as a character, as well as like PD Piranha or Bowser Jr. Those are some of the characters that I'm hoping for. So yeah, I think we could possibly see a Mario Strikers update, as well as a Nintendo Switch Sports update. I don't really like Nintendo Switch Sports, but there's probably going to be an update for that game because it's nearing the fall when they said that Golf update would be out. And maybe some small details about Xenoblade DLC, like not the full story expansion, but like new heroes and smaller details as a part of that DLC. And then I think we could also maybe see some details about the first Splatoon 3 update. It probably wouldn't be dropped after the Direct, probably like a week or two after the Direct, considering the game just released. So I think there is a possibility we could get like maybe some small details about a Splatoon 3 update, and then maybe another trailer like a week from now, something like that. Since the game is really popular right now, I feel like there's definitely a possibility that they could show something related to Splatoon 3, like an update or something. So that's a possibility. And then going into status updates, I feel like we'll probably get a Breath of the Wild release date and Breath of the Wild 2 release date and title. So, and hopefully some new gameplay as well. That would be nice to see. I'm really looking forward to that game. And if it's still scheduled to release in spring 2023, we'll almost definitely see a trailer here for that game. I'm really hoping that we do. There might be another Zelda segment again in this Direct, kind of like how there was in 2021. So I'll mention what other Zelda things could possibly be revealed. But next up, for status updates, I think we could possibly get some more details on Advance Wars and a release date. I am not sure if Nintendo's ready to release that game yet due to like world events and everything. But if they are, I feel like they could possibly release it in December. I feel like December is still kind of open, like early December, kind of like when Smash Ultimate released. I feel like that's possibly when Advance Wars is set to release. And if it's set to release, then they'll probably show a trailer, or at least something in this Direct for Advance Wars, because it's been quite a while since we've gotten an update for that game. I think it was like February or something since we got like the last update for that game. And I think we could, I know this is a little less likely, but there's a possibility that we could get Metroid Prime 4 details, like maybe just like some development info, like the development's going smoothly, expect like a 2024 release date or something like that, or maybe like a small clip of gameplay or a little cinematic teaser, something like that. I think that's possible that we could see something like that since it's been so long since we last got an update on that game. I think there is a possibility that we could see something. And then I think we could possibly see the trailer for the upcoming Mario movie here, if not a teaser. Is the game or the movie is releasing in April of next year, and this is around the time where you'd expect a trailer to be released. So I'm kind of expecting something from this Direct, at least a teaser. if not like an actual trailer. So I think there's a possibility that we could see that. And the final kind of status update thing is new Smash amiibo. And if you didn't know already, the Steve amiibo and Alex amiibo just launched, and we don't really have any information about like amiibo after that. I think we got confirmation that they were doing a Pyra and Mithra amiibo, so they're likely going to do the rest of the DLC characters. So I'd expect to see like an announcement on that, just maybe like a generic short announcement, nothing with Sakurai, just like a short amiibo announcement, kind of for like a couple seconds confirming the other Smash amiibo. I think that's definitely a possibility. So now we're going to get into some actual announcements here for new things. And I think the first possibility is Game Boy Color GBA for Nintendo Switch Online. I'm not sure if they're going to do all three or just GBA. Either way, I think that would be pretty cool to see on Nintendo Switch Online. I think there's definitely a possibility that we could see it, because there was like the emulator that got leaked and everything, and that I think that was straight from Nintendo that someone leaked. So there's definitely a possibility that we could get those games on Nintendo Switch Online, and this just seems like the right place for it. What I think they're possibly going to do is have Game Boy and Game Boy Color for base Nintendo Switch Online, and Game Boy Advance for the expansion pack. They might put all three on the expansion pack, which would definitely make the value better for the expansion pack. But there's a possibility that they might split it up. I'm not sure. So the next thing is a small revival, kind of like how they did like with Big Brain Academy or Famicom Detective Club, or even like bigger things like Mario Strikers, Metroid, like just a revival in general. I could see maybe like a smaller revival for something like Pushmo or Rhythm Heaven. I think that's a possibility that we could see something like that. We usually see like smaller games revealed sometimes. Sometimes that get like released within a few months or even a few weeks of the direct, or even a shadow drop, which could be the case for something like Pushmo. So there's a possibility that we could see something like that. And the next two things are remakes or re-releases. So I could see Metroid Prime getting like an HD remake or HD remaster, because that was rumored several times. They might do it in like a small section where they have like a couple details about how Metroid Prime 4 isn't ready yet, but in the meantime you can have Metroid Prime HD. They might do something like that. I feel like that's pretty likely if they're going to do anything with Metroid. So I think they could also do, on top of that, something with Wind Waker and Twilight Princess, since I've seen that thrown around so many times. There's always a possibility that it doesn't happen, because, I mean, this rumor of Wind Waker and Twilight Princess has been around for, like, years now. It was, like, 2018, 2019, since I've heard, like, Wind Waker and Twilight Princess. The original rumors were about, like, Skyward Sword being with it, but now I think it would just be, like, Wind Waker or Twilight Princess, but I'm not sure. Like, this just keeps getting rumored. I'm not sure if it's an actual thing or something Nintendo's actually sitting on, but we'll have to see. And another thing is a new Fire Emblem game. I think that's a possibility, because I think it would probably release next year. We did get the spin-off, like the Warriors game this year, so I think there's a possibility, since the last game released in 2019, so it makes sense that the next game would come fairly soon. And it could either be like a remake, because I know the remakes are fairly popular, or just another completely new game, which both makes a lot of sense. So I could see like either one happening. And another thing that's really not likely, but I'll kind of shoehorn it in here. There is a possibility still, but a new Pikmin game. Because Nintendo has been doing some things with Pikmin lately, like with Pikmin 3 Deluxe, which I think it sold fairly well from what I've heard, and also the Pikmin mobile game as well, Pikmin Bloom. That game was actually pretty fun, but I could definitely see a new Pikmin game happening, but I'm not really sure if it's that likely. I feel like that might be something for next year, but we'll have to see. And the next thing is a new Grezzo project, because we really haven't heard from Grezzo in a while. Um, I think the last game we saw from them was BOTW, I think, the remake, and then before that was Link's Awakening. So I think we could possibly either see an original game, Zelda remake, or a different remake. I think it would be cool if they did something like an Earthbound remake or a Super Mario RPG remake, something like that. Maybe even a remake of a GameCube or Nintendo 64 game, since they have done like games in that style. So I think it would be nice to see a new Grezzo project, since it's been a little while since we've seen a new game from them. And next up is a new Mario RPG. I know we are getting Mario plus Rabbids, and I do consider that a Mario RPG, because it's been getting even more RPG elements lately, but that's developed by Ubisoft, so I think we could possibly get something like from one of Nintendo's actual studios or studios that Nintendo works with. Because I think we're long overdue for a new Mario and Luigi game. I know the story with Alpha Dream, and that's really unfortunate that that happened. But there is a possibility that a new game could be developed by, like, another studio, like, let's say, Intelligent Systems, Monolith Soft, like, one of those, development studios we could possibly get, like, a new Mario and Luigi game from. If not, we could possibly get like a remake or remaster of an older Paper Mario game, like a Paper Mario 64 remake, which has been rumored a while ago, or a Thousand Year Door remaster, which has been heavily requested. Nintendo has done some things that the fans have been asking for a while, like Metroid Dread and Mario Strikers returning. Despite the fact that that game was controversial, I feel like the fact that Mario Strikers returned in general was a pretty good thing, but I think there is a possibility that we could get like a remaster of Thousand Year Door or a re-release of that game at some point. We'll just have to see. Or it might be bundled in with how Nintendo releases GameCube games, which is something that they might also do. And the next thing is a new Donkey Kong game. So I'm thinking it could either be, like, the most likely thing is either a new Donkey Kong Country game, like a 2D or 3D game. I think that would be really nice to see. It's been a while, it's been 8 years now since Tropical Freeze released, and it's been 4 years since the re-release on Switch released, so it's been quite a while since we've had anything Donkey Kong related, so I think it's definitely possible that we could see a new Donkey Kong game. I really want to see one, so I'm hoping that happens. And another thing that could possibly either release instead of this or alongside it, I think probably alongside it because it would be a smaller game, is Mario vs. Donkey Kong, because it's been quite a while since we've also gotten a game from that series as well. And if that returns, I really want it to be like a return to form, kind of like the original GBA Mario vs. Donkey Kong or Donkey Kong 94 on the Game Boy, and kind of have more of the arcade Donkey Kong style with a lot of puzzle elements. So I think that would be really nice to see. I really hope if we do get a Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, it's a return to form. I don't think the mini games or the games with the minis are bad. I just think they're way overused, kind of like New Super Mario Bros. Like, they just keep reusing the same formula over and over again, and it kind of got old a while ago. So unless they do like a completely new gimmick with that, I just really want to see like a return to form Mario vs. Donkey Kong. And speaking of Mario, I think it's about time that we get a new mainline Mario game. So if it doesn't happen this time, I think it's probably going to happen next year. So I think we could either get Super Mario Odyssey 2 or a new 2D Mario game. I think either game would tie in pretty well with the movie. It would make a lot of sense to tie in a Mario game with the movie. It doesn't have to be like the movie. It would just has to be a Mario game that could sell alongside it. So I have heard rumors about a new 2D Mario game with like a completely different style compared to the new Super Mario Bros. But I'm not sure if that's really likely. Like, I mean, it's from Zippo, which is not really a credible leaker. But I think there is still a possibility in general that we get a new 2D Mario game, because it's been like nearly a decade since we had the last completely new 2D Mario game, not counting Mario Maker or Mario Run. So I think that would be nice to see like a completely original game, kind of like in the style of the modern Donkey Kong Country games or Rayman Legends. Something like that, something like really stylized and completely original would be really nice to see. And Super Mario Odyssey 2 as well is one of my most wanted games on the Switch, and I think that would be really nice to see because I feel like they should expand upon the concepts that they already put in Odyssey, kind of like how Galaxy 2 did. And I hope if they do have Odyssey 2, I hope it has a more involved story and kind of more expands upon it. Galaxy 2 was amazing, but I feel like that was one of its only flaws, was having kind of being like less cinematic and story-based than the original Galaxy. So I know that's not really that big of a factor, but I think that would be nice to see in an Odyssey 2. But anyways, those are my predictions for the Nintendo Direct tomorrow. I'm really excited about it, and definitely looking forward to it. So anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more, and make sure to check out my Discord server and Twitter if you want to. Goodbye.